the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Always our pleasure being with you in Lead Episodes. Be the one, lead the way. In this episodes, we are going to talk about a project, and in this project we are going to discuss together with this group about the diversity awareness profiles. Diversity awareness profiles, like 5 profiles. We are going to discuss with them each profile of each person. So in this episode we are going to listen to their opinion in one of the people profile. Diversity awareness profile is basically the profile of each person, so that how you are dealing with others and how others are dealing with you. We will ask them about the first personality. The first personality, or the first type of profile, is called naive. This person, they are like very simple and like very naive, and they are not like, they are not recognizing their mistakes. They may hurt others, not communicating well, not developing themselves. So we are going to ask them, what do you think about this personality? And if you have something like that in your personality, how to fix it? That's our question to them. So please introduce yourself and tell us about what do you think about these people.
My name is Mario Ramsey, and I think a naive person is you're being kind of selfish, because when you're being naive, you're not only, it's not even like a burden to yourself, it's a burden to the people around you. Because when you're naive, you can be like careless, you don't want to develop yourself, and when that happens, you're a burden to the people around you by having having any input, or like having any help to them, giving any help.
Great. That's great, Mario. What about you, Jonathan?
I think that it honestly hurts people if you're acting like that, because you're not communicating with them at all. And it's just the people themselves, when they're like that, it's probably they're just tired of everything. They don't want to communicate anymore. They don't want to and they just don't realize what they're doing at all.
Not realizing what they are doing. So basically that's like not allowing them to develop.
Yeah.
And impacting others around them. Definitely. Introduce your name, please.
Mark Hanna. I feel like some naive people, like if they're being surrounded by people and they're communicating with other people, if they're naive, like the way they act might not be like the way you would want them to act around you. It might not like bring your spirit up or like motivate you, because they're just like kind of what like Mario said, they're very like kind of selfish, and they're like they care about their decisions, but not like they're not aware of us. So
Yeah.
I feel that's how I feel.
Let me ask you a question for all of you. So if you notice someone like that, what do you think how to develop? Like if you are this kind of person, like what do you think, how can you see yourself, what do you want to do so that you will be able to develop yourself, not to be that personality or that profile?
Well, first you have to understand that you are, like, this is a problem for you. You have to understand that like what affects you directly affects the people around you indirectly. And when you understand that, you can have a better understanding of what is hurting you and the people around you, and why you should improve it. Because being naive was a burden to you and to the people around you. So when you do that, you can, just by understanding that it is a problem, you will have like the motivation to fix it.
Yeah, it's a good one. What about you, Jonathan?
I think when you're acting like that, the people around you are going to make you realize yourself that you're just not making them feel well, that you're not communicating with them at all, and that you're just bringing them down and not bringing them up, as well as yourself.
So what can you do if you yourself is that person to develop
Try to
yourself?
communicate and have fun with them.
Okay, so just to take an action.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
I feel like this, as a naive person, trying to get out of like that way of like their way of behaving, I feel like it takes a lot of steps. For me, my first step would be like try to get close with them, engage with them, so you know if they have issues and you like need to step them aside, then I feel like that's what you should do. And then second step, I think that if you like see that they're acting that way, you should like invite him over with your friends, let him enjoy himself, but make sure he's like acting in like a behaving way, that he's not going, like, being shy. Like, always make sure he's being recognized, like, in the group.
So let me ask another question to you. Do you have someone in your life that you met that he is this kind, or she or he is this kind of personality, the naive person, and how do you feel about this person?
Yes, actually, Abuna, I know him very well. I try to keep him like motivated because he's not like quite in shape. You know, his life is kind of like dangerous the way he lives. So I feel like I try to motivate him to go to the gym and all that, like for him to be fit. But he just sometimes doesn't take that motivation. He says I'm busy, etc. But I keep trying, and I don't see any reason for me to step down because that's something like life risking. Like, it could take his life away. Possibly.
You feel it's your responsibility about that?
I feel like it's anyone's responsibility for them to step up to save. I don't want to say like a life, like homeless or anything, but their health. It's not like his not health is not really like stable. You know, he's not a very healthy person.
Because of being naive and lazy and
Yes,
like
being very
lay down
lazy.
and all that.
And anytime like if we were to hang out, he'd always like text me after. He's like, I don't like the way I felt. They left me out, etc.
Okay, so always feeling like not related to the group.
Yes.
Although you just mentioned that like to let them engage or being recognized, but he is not willing even to be recognized,
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't like want to engage in it. He's
Ah,
not
okay.
talking, like,
Okay,
anything.
okay. What about you, Jonathan? Do you have like someone in your life in this naive personality or this way?
Actually, it's the same person as Mark. We, like, me and him both hang out with him and we try helping him with the same thing. We try taking him to church sometimes. We try to make him go to the gym, but that doesn't work at all. And we try to invite him to places with us, but he just doesn't come. And if he does, he just sits in a corner and he's just quiet. And we try to help him and talk to him. It never works.
So basically, you are doing your best out of love, definitely,
Yeah.
but like you are not seeing
Progress.
like progress or like a response or like as what you are expecting that should be done, right? Okay. What about you, Mario?
Yeah, I actually have a friend that I grew up with all my life, but now he doesn't come to church as much. He hangs out with the wrong group of people, and he's really not like when he hangs out with the wrong group of people, they do like some pretty bad stuff, like maybe like smoke or any of that stuff and go wrong places. And I try to tell him like not to do that stuff or hang out with those people, but he's very naive and careless, and he doesn't really think that it's affecting him or it's a habit or anything like that, but he's actually addicted to it, but he just doesn't know because he is so naive. And obviously I try to help him to an extent because I can't like go with him to those places and try to make him stop over there because I could easily fall into the same thing.
So, so you feel you are limited. Exactly. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us in this group discussion and in this episode. We are going to see you right now to see how the naive people are doing, what's their function, so that you can figure out what's your way concerning these people. Thank you so much. See you soon. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Always our pleasure being with you in Lead. Be the one, lead the way. We are going to talk in our next episodes and today in a project. It's called Diversity Awareness Profile. Again, it's called Diversity Awareness Profile. What's it? It's basically your profile. Each one of us have a certain profile, certain way in dealing with others and dealing with yourself. Dealing with others and dealing with yourself. They classified people into 5 types. 5 types according to this, in how to deal with others and how to deal with yourself. So basically we are going to take, but not all of them in this episode. We are going to take just one in this episode, and next episode we are going to take 2, and the other one, the third one, we are going to take another 2. So we are going to finish the 5 diversity awareness profiles. It's called Diversity Awareness Profile. So basically, the target from this is to know what's your profile so that you can develop yourself accordingly. Today we are going to talk about the first profile, naive. What are the criteria of this person? Naive. These people who are naive are very, very, very simple. But they are simple to the extent that they didn't recognize their mistakes. If they have problems, if they have flaws, they are not recognizing them. And they don't believe in it. They are very, very simple. Not looking for personal development. They don't look for personal development. And that's why these people who are naive, they have something about them. They are said that they can hurt others non-intentionally. This is something very important. They can hurt others non-intentionally. Their communication level, their communication with others, I'm not saying bad, but limited. They are limited in their communication. And that's why, to some extent, they struggle with others around them. We have an example from the Bible, Cain in the Old Testament. Cain was one of those naive, very simple, not accepting that someone is telling him like you have a flaw or a mistake or something. They can't believe it, they can't recognize it. They are very like low in their communication level or skills, and they hurt others non-intentionally. Sometimes definitely they can hurt them intentionally, but most likely they hurt others non-intentionally. These are naive people. So, are you one of those? That's the first diversity awareness profile. Hopefully, by this project, we are going to know us better so we can function better. Because if you know which profile you are in, you can definitely go forward for better development to your personality. Thank you so much for being with us in this episode. Looking forward for Be the One, Lead the Way in our next episode for Lead. Thank you so much.
To lead you must serve, inspire by your example. To teach you must learn, before your visions are reality. Walk what you preach so you can lead the way. To lead you must listen, be open to new ideas, admit your mistakes, to earn the trust of all who follow. Walk what you preach so you can